Despite all of humanity's advancements, there are mysteries from history that even science can't explain. Some events defy logic, records conflict, and theories remain unsolved. For centuries, researchers, archaeologists, and historians have tried to piece together the past, using science and technology to unlock its secrets. But some mysteries remain beyond our understanding, leaving behind more questions than answers. History is filled with strange, unexplained events, some documented in official records, others passed down through folklore. Eyewitnesses have recounted stories that sound too bizarre to be true, yet no one has been able to prove them false. Ancient texts describe impossible occurrences, while physical evidence points to civilizations and technologies that don't fit into the known timeline of human progress. From entire groups of people vanishing without a trace to events that challenge the very laws of nature, these enigmas remain unsolved, defying the best efforts of experts. This journey into the unknown will explore historical mysteries that continue to puzzle experts today. Some involve eerie disappearances, where people seem to evaporate from existence, leaving behind only abandoned belongings and unanswered questions. Others focus on bizarre natural events, phenomena so strange that they seem almost supernatural. There are ancient artifacts that defy modern technology, untranslatable manuscripts that no scholar has cracked, and structures built with techniques that should have been impossible for the time. These mysteries challenge everything we think we know about history and science. Why can't science explain them? The answer lies in the limitations of historical records, gaps in evidence, and conflicting interpretations. Many of these events happened in times when people lacked the means to accurately document what they saw, relying instead on word-of-mouth accounts that became distorted over time. Others remain unsolved because the physical evidence has either deteriorated or been lost, leaving nothing but speculation. Even when fragments of the past remain, experts struggle to separate truth from myth, fact from exaggeration. Some mysteries may never be solved simply because the key pieces of the puzzle no longer exist. Conflicting theories also play a role. Scholars debate over the meaning of ancient texts, the true purpose of strange artifacts, and whether some historical accounts are even real. Scientists analyze physical evidence, but when explanations don't align with conventional knowledge, they often dismiss alternative theories as pseudoscience or conspiracy. Could it be that some of these mysteries don't fit into our current understanding of history? Or is there information being hidden, deliberately or accidentally, that prevents us from seeing the full picture? The more we uncover, the more we realize how much we don't know. Some of these mysteries might one day be explained, as new discoveries and technologies provide fresh insights. Others may remain unsolved forever, lost in the depths of time. Either way, they continue to fascinate and intrigue, reminding us that history is not as simple or straightforward as we once believed. The mysterious disappearances that defy logic. The Roanoke Colony disappearance, a vanished settlement with no clues. In 1587, a group of 115 English settlers arrived on the coast of what is now North Carolina, determined to establish a thriving colony under the guidance of Governor John White. This colony, known as Roanoke, was meant to be England's first permanent settlement in the New World. But what happened next remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. When White sailed back to England to gather supplies, he expected to return within a few months. Due to war with Spain, he was delayed for 3 years. When he finally arrived in 1590, the entire colony had vanished. The settlement was eerily abandoned, with no sign of struggle or battle. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan, carved into a wooden post. There were no bodies, no graves, and no indications of what had happened. Many theories have emerged over the centuries. Some suggest the colonists were wiped out by disease or starvation, while others argue that they were attacked by hostile Native American tribes. Another possibility is that the settlers sought refuge with the friendly Croatoan tribe and assimilated into their culture. However, no definitive evidence has ever confirmed this. Searches for archaeological remains of the Roanoke colonists have yielded no clear answers, and despite centuries of research, their fate remains unknown. To this day, the disappearance of the Roanoke colony remains an unsolved historical enigma. Without new evidence, the truth may never be uncovered. Did the settlers integrate into another civilization, or were they victims of something more sinister? The lack of closure has turned this mystery into one of the most perplexing disappearances in history. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Mystery, a vanishing act that left no trace. In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers stationed on the remote Flannan Isles off the coast of Scotland disappeared without a trace. The only clues left behind were the keepers' log entries, which painted a picture of fear and paranoia. The official records described unusual weather conditions, but also mentioned something more ominous, unexplained feelings of dread and distress among the men. When a relief crew arrived at the lighthouse, they found the doors locked from the inside, an unfinished meal on the table, and the oil lamp still filled with fuel. The keepers' coats were missing, suggesting they had ventured outside. However, no bodies were ever found, and there were no signs of a struggle or natural disaster that could explain the disappearance. Theories range from a massive rogue wave sweeping the men out to sea to a sudden storm that caught them off guard. Others have suggested supernatural explanations, including ghostly apparitions or even a sea monster attack. Some historians believe that one of the men may have suffered a mental breakdown and killed the others before taking his own life. But with no evidence, these remain speculations. The disappearance of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers remains one of the most chilling unsolved maritime mysteries. The lack of definitive proof leaves room for endless theories, but the truth remains as elusive as the waves that crash against the desolate island. The vanishing crew of the Mary Celeste, the ghost ship that sailed without its people. On December 5, 1872, the Mary Celeste was discovered adrift in the Atlantic Ocean, completely abandoned. The ship was fully intact, with its cargo untouched and personal belongings still on board. Even more bizarrely, there were no signs of a struggle, and the lifeboat was missing. The crew, including the captain, his wife, and their 2-year-old daughter, had vanished without a trace. Theories about the disappearance of the Mary Celeste's crew are endless. Some believe that a sudden storm or rogue wave forced the crew to abandon ship, but if that were the case, why was the vessel found in such pristine condition? Others speculate that the ship encountered pirates who kidnapped the crew but left the valuable cargo untouched. Another theory suggests that the captain miscalculated an imminent disaster, such as a gas leak from the alcohol barrels in the cargo hold, and ordered an emergency evacuation. If so, the crew may have perished at sea while attempting to reach safety. Adding to the mystery is the eerie reputation of the ship itself. The Mary Celeste had a troubled history, plagued by misfortune long before its final voyage. Some sailors believed the ship was cursed, leading to speculation about supernatural forces at play. Even today, the story of the Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest unsolved maritime puzzles, with no clear explanation for why an entire crew would abandon a perfectly seaworthy vessel. The common thread among these disappearances is the complete lack of answers. In each case, the people involved vanished without a trace, leaving behind only speculation and unanswered questions. Whether lost to the forces of nature, victims of human conflict, or something even more inexplicable, their fates remain an enduring mystery that science has yet to unravel. Unsolved ancient civilizations and structures. Göbekli Tepe, the prehistoric temple that shouldn't exist deep in southeastern Turkey. An archaeological site has rewritten everything historians thought they knew about early human civilization. Göbekli Tepe, a vast temple complex built around 9600 BC, predates Stonehenge by over 6,000 years and was constructed more than 7,000 years before the pyramids of Egypt. The sheer age of this site challenges the very foundation of human history. According to traditional archaeological models, early humans were primitive hunter-gatherers at the time Göbekli Tepe was built. Yet the enormous stone pillars, arranged in elaborate circular formations, suggest a level of planning and craftsmanship far beyond what was believed possible for that era. Each of these stone pillars weighs up to 20 tons and is covered in intricate carvings of animals and mysterious symbols. The sheer scale of the construction would have required advanced knowledge of engineering, labor coordination, and a structured society. The fact that this site was deliberately buried thousands of years after it was built adds another layer of mystery. Why would an ancient civilization go to such lengths to hide their creation? Some researchers suggest it was an ancient religious or ceremonial site, while others speculate that it was part of a lost civilization that predates known human history. Göbekli Tepe challenges the accepted timeline of human development. If a society was capable of building such a complex structure so early in history, what else might they have been capable of? Some theories suggest that this site is proof of an advanced civilization that existed long before Mesopotamian societies, only to be lost to time. Others argue that external influences, perhaps even extraterrestrial, helped shape early human development. Despite ongoing excavations, the true purpose of Göbekli Tepe remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. The lost city of Atlantis, a real place or myth? For centuries, scholars and explorers have searched for one of history's most famous lost civilizations, the legendary city of Atlantis. First described by the Greek philosopher Plato over 2,000 years ago, Atlantis was said to be a powerful and advanced civilization that vanished beneath the waves in a single day and night. But was Atlantis a real place, or merely an allegory? Plato's descriptions suggest that Atlantis was a vast, technologically advanced society, far superior to any known ancient civilization. The city was said to have been located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, an area now associated with the Strait of Gibraltar. While many believe that Plato's account was purely symbolic, others argue that it was based on real events. Over the years, researchers have connected the Atlantis myth to various submerged ruins around the world, including structures found off the coasts of Spain, the Caribbean, and even Japan. Some historians propose that the destruction of Atlantis was inspired by a real catastrophic event, such as the volcanic eruption that devastated the Minoan civilization on the island of Santorini around 1600 BC. The eruption triggered massive tsunamis that wiped out entire settlements, which could have been the basis for the Atlantis legend. Others point to the discovery of ancient underwater structures, such as the ruins found near Cuba and India, as potential remnants of the lost city. The idea that an advanced civilization may have once thrived and then disappeared without a trace fuels ongoing debate. Did Atlantis exist as Plato described, or was it an amalgamation of various lost cities and civilizations? Could there be entire chapters of human history missing from our records? Until definitive evidence is found, the mystery of Atlantis continues to captivate the world, remaining one of history's most enduring unsolved enigmas. The Baalbek megaliths, impossible ancient engineering in the mountains of Lebanon. The ruins of Baalbek contain some of the largest and heaviest stone blocks ever used in construction. These massive stones, known as the Baalbek megaliths, defy explanation due to their size, precision, and the mystery of how they were transported. Some of these blocks, such as the famous Stone of the Pregnant Woman, weigh over 1,200 tons, far larger than any stones used in the Egyptian pyramids or even modern engineering projects. The sheer scale of these megaliths raises an unsettling question: how did an ancient civilization move such colossal stones without advanced technology? Mainstream historians suggest that the massive blocks were part of a Roman construction project, possibly used as a foundation for the Grand Temple of Jupiter. However, the question remains: why would the Romans, who typically built using smaller, more manageable stone blocks, have chosen such enormous megaliths? Some believe that Baalbek was built atop an even older, lost civilization's foundation, one that possessed knowledge of construction techniques unknown to modern science. Theories attempting to explain how these massive stones were moved range from the use of primitive rolling logs to advanced techniques involving levers and pulleys. Yet, no modern reconstruction effort has successfully demonstrated a method that could move stones of this size with the tools available in the ancient world. Some researchers believe that the civilization responsible for Baalbek had access to lost knowledge or even external help, whether from a now vanished advanced human society or, according to more controversial theories, extraterrestrial visitors. The mystery of Baalbek remains unsolved. The site continues to baffle engineers, archaeologists, and historians alike. Could it be that an ancient civilization possessed engineering capabilities that have since been lost? Or are we missing a key piece of historical knowledge that could explain these massive constructions? Until a definitive answer is found, Baalbek will continue to be one of the greatest engineering puzzles in history. The mysteries of Göbekli Tepe, Atlantis, and the Baalbek megaliths all challenge what we think we know about ancient history. These sites suggest that our timeline of civilization may not be as straightforward as we once believed. If ancient humans were capable of such extraordinary feats thousands of years ago, what else could they have achieved? Could entire civilizations have risen and fallen without leaving behind clear evidence? Or is there knowledge, hidden or lost, that could one day rewrite the story of humanity? These questions remain unanswered, making these ancient sites some of the most compelling historical enigmas the world has ever known. Mysterious encounters and bizarre phenomena. The Dyatlov Pass incident, a chilling mystery that science can't fully explain. In the winter of 1959, 9 experienced hikers set off on an expedition through the Ural Mountains in Soviet Russia, expecting nothing more than the brutal cold and the challenge of the journey. What followed was one of the most bizarre and terrifying unsolved mysteries in modern history. Days after their expected return, search parties were sent to locate them. What they found defied all logic. The hiker's tent was discovered abandoned, its entrance slashed open from the inside as if the group had fled in terror. Their footprints, visible in the snow, led away from the campsite, but none of them wore proper clothing for sub-zero temperatures, and some were even barefoot. Bodies were found scattered at various distances from the tent. Some had died of hypothermia, while others had suffered horrifying injuries, including skull fractures and crushed ribs. One victim was missing her tongue and eyes. Strangely, no external wounds suggested an attack, yet the force required to cause such injuries was compared to that of a car crash. Some of their clothes contained traces of radiation, adding another layer of mystery. The official Soviet investigation ruled that the hikers had died due to an unknown compelling force, leaving room for endless speculation. Some believe they were victims of a secret military test involving high-frequency sound waves or experimental weapons. Others suggest an avalanche or a sudden shift in the snow led them to panic, though this fails to explain the nature of their injuries. Another theory involves infrasound, a low-frequency sound wave capable of inducing extreme fear and hallucinations. More supernatural theories range from Yeti attacks to alien interference. To this day, no single explanation fully accounts for all the anomalies in the Dyatlov Pass incident. The Russian government reopened the case decades later, but the conclusion, a natural force, provided no satisfying answers. The case remains one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries, leaving behind eerie questions about what truly happened in the icy darkness of that isolated mountain pass. The Devil's Footprints, hoof marks that stretched for miles with no logical explanation. On a cold winter morning in February 1855, residents of Devon, England, awoke to find something deeply unsettling. Overnight, a series of strange footprints had appeared in the snow, covering over 100 miles of countryside. The tracks were not ordinary human or animal prints. They were cloven hoof marks, seemingly belonging to no known creature. Even more bizarrely, the footprints traveled in a straight line, crossing through gardens, over rooftops, and even appearing on the tops of walls, as if whatever had made them could walk through physical barriers. Panic swept through the region. Some believed the prints belonged to the devil himself, as folklore at the time held that Satan's hooves left such marks. Others suspected an elaborate hoax, though the sheer distance and precision of the tracks made this nearly impossible to fabricate. Scientists and skeptics have since attempted to explain the phenomenon, with theories ranging from an escaped kangaroo to a mass hysteria event. Some suggested unusual weather conditions caused the marks to form naturally, while others proposed that a hopping rodent or an exotic animal on the loose might have been responsible. No theory has successfully explained how the tracks remained uninterrupted across vast distances, sometimes appearing in places impossible for any known animal to reach. Even more chilling, reports of similar footprints appearing in snow-covered areas have surfaced in different parts of the world over the centuries. If the footprints were indeed a hoax, why has no one been able to recreate them under controlled conditions? If they were a natural phenomenon, why have they never been observed forming again? The mystery of the devil's footprints remains one of history's most chilling and bizarre encounters. Were they truly supernatural, or was there a logical explanation lost to time? Without definitive proof, the legend continues to perplex historians and paranormal researchers alike. The Tunguska event, a catastrophic explosion that defies explanation. In 1908, a massive explosion rocked a remote area of Siberia near the Tunguska River, flattening 800 square miles of forest and generating a blast force estimated to be 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The event is considered the largest impact-related explosion in recorded history, yet no crater was ever found. The lack of an impact site has baffled scientists for over a century. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a fireball streaking across the sky, followed by a blinding flash and a deafening explosion. A shockwave from the blast knocked people off their feet hundreds of miles away, and seismographs recorded tremors equivalent to a 5.0 magnitude earthquake. Trees were scorched and knocked over in a radial pattern, yet no trace of a meteorite or asteroid impact was found. The leading scientific theory suggests that the explosion was caused by an airburst, an object, likely a comet or asteroid, exploding mid-air before reaching the surface. However, without any fragments or impact evidence, this explanation remains speculative. Some researchers believe the event may have been triggered by a natural gas explosion from the Earth's crust or an underground nuclear-like reaction. Others propose an even more controversial idea, that the Tunguska explosion was the result of an extraterrestrial event, possibly a UFO crash or an energy-based phenomenon unknown to modern science. Adding to the mystery, some trees at the center of the explosion remained standing, though all their branches were stripped away. This anomaly resembles the effects of nuclear blasts, despite no evidence of human-made nuclear technology existing at the time. Additionally, reports surfaced of unusual electromagnetic disturbances in the area for years after the event, further complicating the scientific narrative. Despite multiple expeditions and modern scientific analysis, the Tunguska event remains an unresolved enigma. If it was indeed an asteroid or comet explosion, why have no fragments been found? If it was a natural gas explosion, why has no similar event been observed elsewhere? Could it have been something even stranger, a force of nature still beyond human understanding? The Dyatlov Pass incident, the Devil's Footprints, and the Tunguska event all share one thing in common: they defy logical explanation. Each event left behind evidence, yet no definitive answers. Whether due to unknown natural forces, psychological phenomena, or even something beyond our current understanding of science, these mysteries continue to haunt the pages of history. Without concrete proof, they remain some of the most perplexing and terrifying unexplained events ever recorded. Historical anomalies that challenge scientific understanding. The Baghdad Battery, ancient electricity or a misinterpreted artifact. Deep within the ruins of Mesopotamia, a small clay jar with an iron rod and a copper cylinder was discovered, leaving archaeologists puzzled. This artifact, known as the Baghdad Battery, dates back nearly 2,000 years and raises an unsettling question: was electricity being used in ancient times? If so, how could a civilization with no known understanding of electrical currents have possibly harnessed this power? When researchers first examined the battery, they noted that when filled with an acidic liquid, such as vinegar or lemon juice, the jar could generate a small electrical charge. The implications of this discovery were groundbreaking. Could the ancient Persians or Parthians have understood electrochemical reactions long before the modern world? If they did, what was the purpose of this device? Some scientists suggest that the battery may have been used for electroplating, a process where electricity is used to coat metal objects with a thin layer of another metal. If true, this would mean that ancient civilizations possessed knowledge of chemistry and metallurgy that was previously thought to have been developed only in the 19th century. However, no definitive evidence of electroplated artifacts from that time period has been found, leading skeptics to question whether the Baghdad Battery was ever used for such a purpose. Others propose that the artifact may have had a purely spiritual or medicinal purpose, possibly used in religious rituals to create sensations or minor shocks, reinforcing beliefs in divine power. Some historians believe the battery might not have been a power source at all and was simply an ancient storage container that was misinterpreted. Yet the fact remains, when replicated in modern experiments, it does produce electricity. If the Baghdad Battery was indeed used for electricity, it suggests that ancient civilizations had a far greater understanding of science and engineering than previously thought. If not, its exact purpose remains one of history's enduring enigmas. Without written records explaining its function, the mystery of whether electricity was harnessed in ancient times continues to challenge modern scientific understanding. The Voynich manuscript, the unbreakable code that defies translation. Among the greatest linguistic puzzles in history is the Voynich manuscript, a book so perplexing that even the most advanced cryptographers, linguists, and artificial intelligence programs have failed to decipher its contents. Discovered in 1912 by the book dealer Wilfred Voynich, the manuscript is written in an entirely unknown script, filled with bizarre illustrations of plants, astronomical diagrams, and biological sketches. Despite decades of analysis, no one knows what language it is written in, or even if it represents a real language at all. Carbon dating suggests the manuscript was created in the early 15th century, yet its origins remain uncertain. Some believe it was a medical or herbal guide, while others suggest it may contain alchemical or astrological knowledge. The book's intricate illustrations depict strange plant species that do not match any known flora, further deepening the mystery. Was it an attempt to record knowledge that has since been lost, or is it a complete fabrication? Experts, including military codebreakers and teams from institutions like the NSA, have studied the manuscript, but all attempts to crack its meaning have failed. Artificial intelligence programs have analyzed the text, hoping to find patterns that indicate a structured language. Some researchers suggest it may be a form of an unknown cipher, while others argue it could be an elaborate hoax, designed centuries ago to deceive scholars or collectors. One of the most controversial theories suggests that the Voynich manuscript is written in an entirely unknown language, possibly one that was created artificially. Some even speculate it could be an encoded message from an advanced ancient civilization or an extraterrestrial source. Others dismiss these ideas, arguing that it could simply be the work of a clever forger from the medieval period. If the Voynich manuscript is real and contains valuable knowledge, what information does it hold? Could it be an ancient scientific document, a lost form of communication, or something even more profound? If it is a hoax, why does it follow such consistent linguistic patterns, making it appear as though it was written with a purpose? Until someone successfully deciphers it, the Voynich manuscript will remain one of history's most baffling enigmas. The Antikythera Mechanism, the world's first analog computer. In 1901, a group of sponge divers off the coast of Greece made a discovery that would change the way historians view ancient technology. Amid the ruins of a shipwreck dating back over 2,000 years, they found what appeared to be a corroded hunk of bronze. But upon closer inspection, it became clear that this artifact was something far more extraordinary. The device, known as the Antikythera Mechanism, turned out to be an advanced mechanical computer, one that should not have existed in the ancient world. This intricate device consists of a complex system of gears and dials, designed to calculate astronomical positions, predict eclipses, and track planetary movements. The precision of its engineering suggests that whoever built it possessed an understanding of mechanical technology far beyond anything historians believed possible for that time. The mechanism is so advanced that nothing comparable was seen again until the development of mechanical clocks in the 14th century, over 1,400 years later. The mystery deepens when considering how this level of precision was achieved. The craftsmanship of the gears suggests that the knowledge required to construct such a device was not isolated but rather a product of an advanced tradition of engineering. If such technology existed in the ancient world, why is there no historical record of similar inventions? Did this knowledge disappear with a lost civilization, or was it deliberately suppressed? Some researchers believe that the Antikythera Mechanism was not an isolated artifact but part of a greater technological lineage that was either lost to time or deliberately erased from history. Others propose that this discovery hints at the existence of an unknown civilization, one with scientific capabilities far beyond what is typically attributed to the ancient Greeks. If they had such technology, what else were they capable of? To this day, the exact origins of the Antikythera Mechanism remain unknown. Some speculate that it was built by a genius inventor whose knowledge was not passed down, while others argue that it could be the missing link to an entire era of lost technology. As modern engineers attempt to reconstruct and fully understand the device, one thing is clear. This discovery challenges everything we thought we knew about the technological capabilities of the ancient world. The Baghdad Battery, the Voynich manuscript, and the Antikythera Mechanism all raise fundamental questions about human history. Were these anomalies simply isolated incidents, or do they hint at a lost understanding of science and technology that has been forgotten over time? If electricity was harnessed in ancient Mesopotamia, if a coded manuscript contains knowledge still beyond our comprehension, and if an advanced mechanical device existed over 2,000 years before its time, what else might be hidden within the gaps of recorded history? These mysteries remain unsolved, defying conventional explanations and forcing us to reconsider what we truly know about the past. Supernatural and paranormal events that science fails to explain. The dancing plague of 1518, a deadly and uncontrollable epidemic. In the summer of 1518, a bizarre and terrifying event unfolded in the city of Strasbourg, France. Without warning, a woman named Frau Trophia stepped into the street and began to dance uncontrollably. Hours passed, then days, and she continued to move as if she were possessed. What began as a singular, inexplicable act soon spread. Dozens of others joined in, seemingly unable to stop. Within a week, the number of dancers had grown to hundreds, all writhing in exhaustion, some collapsing from sheer fatigue. The dancing plague of 1518 had begun. This mass phenomenon persisted for weeks, with historical records stating that some dancers even perished from strokes, heart attacks, and sheer exhaustion. Witnesses described an almost trance-like state, where the afflicted individual showed no signs of stopping despite bleeding feet and extreme physical distress. It was as if their bodies were no longer under their own control. Attempts were made to intervene. Physicians of the time, believing that excessive dancing was the only cure, encouraged the construction of wooden stages and brought in musicians to facilitate what they assumed would be a cathartic release. Instead, the problem worsened. More people succumbed to the strange affliction, and the dancing continued. The hysteria eventually faded away as mysteriously as it began, but the questions it raised have never been fully answered. Theories attempting to explain the event range from psychological mass hysteria to the effects of ergot poisoning, a hallucinogenic mold that sometimes grows on damp rye. However, neither explanation fully accounts for why the affliction spread so widely and why it followed such a destructive path. The supernatural explanation, though dismissed by modern science, was widely accepted at the time. Many believed that the dancers had been cursed or possessed by spirits. Some even suggested divine punishment or demonic influence. Centuries later, the dancing plague remains one of history's most disturbing unsolved mysteries. Could mass hysteria alone drive people to dance themselves to death? If it was caused by a toxic substance, why has a similar event never occurred under the same conditions? Was it something deeper, something yet to be understood by modern science? Without conclusive evidence, the true cause of the dancing plague remains one of the strangest medical and supernatural mysteries of all time. The Taos Hum, a noise that has no source. Across the world, thousands of people have reported hearing a persistent, low-frequency sound, an eerie hum that defies explanation. Known as the Taos Hum, this phenomenon has left both scientists and residents baffled for decades. The name originates from the small town of Taos, New Mexico, where a significant number of people began reporting the noise in the early 1990s. However, this sound has also been heard in different parts of the world, from the United Kingdom to Canada, even as far as Australia. Described as a low, droning vibration, the hum is only heard by a small percentage of the population. Some describe it as similar to the sound of an idling truck engine or distant machinery, but no external source has ever been identified. Strangely, it is often heard more clearly indoors rather than outside. Those who hear it report symptoms such as nausea, headaches, sleep disturbances, and even anxiety. Scientists have conducted numerous studies attempting to locate the origin of the sound, but no definitive answer has been found. Some researchers speculate that it may be caused by low-frequency electromagnetic waves, underground geological movements, or secret military communications. Others have suggested that the hum is an auditory hallucination caused by tinnitus or an unusual sensitivity to certain sound frequencies. The lack of a clear cause has led to even stranger theories, including the possibility that the hum is a product of extraterrestrial technology, secret government experiments, or even an unknown force of nature. Some conspiracy theories suggest that the sound is linked to classified mind control programs or undisclosed energy emissions. Despite advances in acoustic and environmental research, the Taos Hum remains an unsolved enigma. If it were caused by a natural phenomenon, why can only certain individuals hear it? If it is a result of human-made technology, why has no government or organization ever taken responsibility for it? With no conclusive scientific explanation, the hum continues to torment those who hear it while leaving others completely unaware of its existence. Until its origin is uncovered, the Taos Hum remains one of the most perplexing paranormal mysteries in the modern. The Curse of the Pharaohs, a deadly mystery or a coincidence? The discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 was one of the greatest archaeological finds in history. However, the excitement surrounding the tomb's opening soon turned to fear, as a series of bizarre and untimely deaths began to claim those involved in the excavation. This series of misfortunes gave rise to one of the most famous supernatural legends in history, the Curse of the Pharaohs. The idea of a pharaoh's curse existed long before the discovery of King Tut's tomb, but it was the events that followed that cemented the legend. Shortly after the tomb was opened, Lord Carnarvon, the British financier of the excavation, died suddenly from an infected mosquito bite. His death occurred just months after the discovery, fueling rumors of a curse that had been unleashed upon those who disturbed the sacred resting place of the young pharaoh. The deaths did not stop there. Over the following years, several members of the excavation team and others associated with the tomb suffered mysterious illnesses and tragic accidents. Some died under unexplained circumstances, while others were struck by misfortune. Even Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, publicly stated that he believed supernatural forces were responsible. Scientists have attempted to explain the deaths as coincidences or the result of exposure to ancient toxins, such as mold or bacteria sealed within the tomb for centuries. Some experts suggest that the sealed environment of the tomb may have harbored dangerous microbes that led to infections in those who entered. Others propose psychological factors. If people believed they were cursed, could their own fear and anxiety have contributed to their declining health? Despite logical explanations, the legend of the curse persists. Hollywood and popular culture have reinforced the idea that disturbing ancient tombs invites supernatural retribution. The strange pattern of deaths, combined with the eerie nature of Egyptian burial rituals, has kept the myth alive. Even in modern times, archaeologists tread carefully when exploring ancient sites, some still wary of what might happen when long-sealed tombs are disturbed. Whether the deaths were merely coincidence, the result of an undiscovered scientific factor, or something far more mysterious, the curse of the Pharaohs remains one of the most chilling supernatural legends in history. The Dancing Plague, the Taos Hum, and the Curse of the Pharaohs all share a common thread, events that defy conventional explanations. Despite scientific advancements, modern technology, and historical analysis, these mysteries remain unresolved. Each offers a glimpse into the strange and unexplained, challenging our understanding of reality. Were these events the result of natural but misunderstood forces, or do they hint at something more, something beyond the grasp of modern science? Until definitive answers are found, these paranormal mysteries will continue to intrigue and terrify those who dare to question the unknown. Theories and controversial insights on unexplained mysteries. Why science hasn't found the answers. Despite humanity's best efforts, some mysteries remain beyond explanation. Science has given us tools to explore the past, uncover ancient civilizations, and analyze strange phenomena, but certain events and artifacts still defy logic. One of the main reasons many of history's greatest mysteries remain unsolved is the simple lack of physical evidence. Many of these cases occurred centuries or even millennia ago, leaving behind little more than fragmented accounts, lost artifacts, or incomplete records. Without tangible proof, scientists and historians are left to rely on speculation, making definitive conclusions nearly impossible. Historical distortion further complicates the search for truth. Over time, stories evolve, details get exaggerated, and myths blend with reality. In many cases, the only records available are second-hand accounts, written long after the events supposedly took place. If even modern eyewitness testimonies are often unreliable, how can we fully trust documents that were written decades or centuries after an event occurred? Many mysteries might have once had logical explanations, but the passage of time has distorted them beyond recognition. Another challenge is that science may simply be looking at these mysteries the wrong way. Researchers often approach historical anomalies with preconceived notions about what is possible. If something doesn't fit into the accepted timeline of human development, it is frequently dismissed rather than explored further. Could it be that our understanding of history is incomplete? Some anomalies suggest that ancient civilizations possessed knowledge far beyond what we currently acknowledge. If an advanced civilization did exist before recorded history, would mainstream science even be willing to accept such a discovery? The limitations of current technology also play a role in why some mysteries remain unsolved. New methods of analysis, such as DNA sequencing, satellite imaging, and AI-driven pattern recognition, have helped uncover lost civilizations and solve ancient riddles. However, there are still limitations in what can be tested. Some artifacts are too fragile to be examined using invasive techniques, and certain ancient structures remain buried beneath the earth, waiting for future generations to uncover their secrets. Until technological advancements allow for deeper investigation, many of these mysteries will remain unresolved. Are some of these events fabricated? History is filled with incredible stories, but how many of them actually happened as described? Myths and urban legends have a way of embedding themselves into human consciousness, shaping our understanding of the past. Some of history's greatest mysteries may not be unsolvable. They may simply be misunderstandings or fabrications that have been repeated so often that they are mistaken for truth. Throughout history, people have had reasons to alter facts. In some cases, religious or political agendas have shaped historical records to fit a certain narrative. Stories of divine interventions, ancient curses, and supernatural events often originated in societies that sought to explain the unknown with the knowledge they had at the time. Could it be that many of these unsolved mysteries were nothing more than ancient attempts to explain natural phenomena? Some mysteries are also the result of mistranslations and misinterpretations. The Voynich manuscript, for example, has been studied by countless experts, yet no one has been able to crack its code. What if the manuscript was never meant to be deciphered at all? What if it was simply a medieval hoax, created to deceive scholars of the time? Similarly, the legends of Atlantis have fueled countless theories, but what if Plato's story was purely allegorical, never meant to be taken literally? The human brain is wired to find patterns, even where none exist. Psychological phenomena like pareidolia, the tendency to see faces in random objects, or confirmation bias may explain why people continue to believe in some of these mysteries. If a person is convinced that an event is supernatural, they will look for evidence to support that belief, ignoring any contradictory information. Could it be that some of these anomalies are simply the result of human perception, rather than true historical enigmas? Even more troubling is the role that modern technology plays in creating new mysteries. Digital manipulation, fake news, and online conspiracies have blurred the line between fact and fiction. Some mysteries that seem ancient might have been artificially enhanced by more recent fabrications. As stories are shared and reshaped over time, separating truth from fiction becomes increasingly difficult. While some historical mysteries are certainly real, others may have been distorted to the point where they no longer resemble the original events. What if we're not supposed to know the truth? One of the most controversial questions surrounding history's unsolved mysteries is whether the truth is being deliberately hidden. Throughout history, governments, religious institutions, and powerful organizations have controlled the flow of information. Could some of these mysteries have already been solved but intentionally kept from the public? There are numerous cases where classified government projects have been mistaken for supernatural events. The Dyatlov Pass incident, for example, has long been suspected of being linked to Soviet military experiments. Some researchers believe that the hikers stumbled upon a secret weapons test, leading to their strange and violent deaths. However, if this were true, why would the Soviet government allow even partial information about the event to become public? If history has taught us anything, it's that governments do not readily admit to their mistakes. The Tunguska event is another example. Officially classified as an asteroid explosion in the atmosphere, some theorists suggest that it was actually an early experiment with nuclear technology or even contact with an unidentified aerial phenomenon. While this may sound far-fetched, declassified documents have revealed that governments have been investigating unusual aerial occurrences for decades. If they were aware of something beyond human understanding, would they ever willingly disclose it? Lost civilizations are another area where secrecy and suppression may play a role. If evidence were found that proved an advanced society existed thousands of years before recorded history, it would challenge everything we know about human development. Would academic institutions and governments be willing to rewrite history, or would they suppress such findings to avoid societal upheaval? Some researchers argue that ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe, which rewrote the known timeline of civilization, are just the beginning of what remains hidden. If lost technologies or forgotten knowledge were discovered, would the public ever be allowed to know? There is also the unsettling possibility that certain historical mysteries remain unsolved because they involve knowledge that is too dangerous to be widely known. Could some of these mysteries be linked to forgotten sciences, lost technologies, or forces that modern civilization is not ready to understand? If the Antikythera Mechanism represents just a fragment of a lost technological age, what else has been lost, or deliberately hidden? Theories about secret knowledge are often dismissed as conspiracy, but history has proven that censorship, cover-ups, and historical distortion are real. Governments have classified historical discoveries, religious institutions have suppressed scientific advancements, and political entities have rewritten the past to serve their own agendas. Could it be that some of the greatest mysteries of history are not mysteries at all, but carefully guarded secrets? If history is written by the victors, then what happens to the stories that don't fit the official narrative? Some of the greatest mysteries of our time may not be missing pieces of history, but rather evidence of an alternative history that has been deliberately erased. Whether due to fear, power, or control, the truth about certain events, artifacts, and civilizations may never be fully revealed. If that is the case, then the greatest mystery of all may not be what happened, but why we are not allowed to know. The lack of clear answers to some of history's greatest enigmas leaves us questioning the boundaries of science, history, and human perception. Are these mysteries simply the result of lost records and unreliable accounts? Have some events been exaggerated or even fabricated over time? Or is there knowledge being hidden from us, knowledge that could alter our understanding of history itself? Until new discoveries provide concrete answers, these unsolved mysteries will continue to fuel debate, speculation, and endless curiosity. History is filled with events that defy explanation, leaving scientists, historians, and researchers searching for answers that may never come. From entire groups of people vanishing without a trace to ancient civilizations possessing knowledge seemingly ahead of their time, these mysteries push the boundaries of what we believe to be true. Science has advanced to extraordinary levels, solving many of history's greatest questions, yet some events remain beyond our reach. Despite countless investigations, breakthroughs in technology, and modern theories attempting to make sense of the past, these strange occurrences continue to puzzle even the brightest minds. The disappearance of the Roanoke Colony, the Dyatlov Pass incident, and the vanishing crew of the Mary Celeste remain among the most chilling unsolved mysteries, each one leaving behind only fragmented clues and theories that fail to explain everything. The existence of ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Baalbek megaliths challenges conventional timelines of human civilization, suggesting that there may have been advanced societies that predate known history. Meanwhile, artifacts like the Baghdad Battery and the Antikythera Mechanism hint at lost technologies that could rewrite what we know about scientific development in the ancient world. Some of these mysteries, like the dancing plague of 1518 and the Taos Hum, involve phenomena that suggest psychological, environmental, or even supernatural elements at play. Science has tried to explain them, but without conclusive evidence, speculation continues to thrive. Legends of Atlantis, the curse of the Pharaohs, and unexplained global events such as the Tunguska explosion leave us wondering whether history holds more secrets than we realize. Have these mysteries remained unsolved because we lack the evidence to uncover the truth, or is there something deeper, something we are not meant to understand? As new discoveries continue to emerge, it is possible that some of these unsolved mysteries will eventually be explained. Advancements in archaeology, artificial intelligence, and space exploration may one day provide the missing pieces needed to complete the puzzles of the past. But there is also the possibility that some mysteries will remain beyond our grasp, permanently hidden by time, lost records, or even deliberate suppression. If certain historical events challenge widely accepted narratives, would those in power allow the truth to be known? If ancient civilizations possessed knowledge that has since been erased, what else has been hidden from history? The question remains, are some mysteries meant to stay unsolved, or will future discoveries finally reveal the truth? Are we looking at these events from the wrong perspective, forcing them to fit into our understanding of the world instead of considering that history may be far more complex than we believe? Until definitive evidence emerges, these mysteries will continue to captivate, inspire, and provoke debate among those who seek the truth. Which of these mysteries do you think has a logical explanation? Do you believe science will one day solve them all, or are some destined to remain unanswered forever? Let us know in the comments and keep questioning the world around you, because sometimes the greatest discoveries come from those who dare to ask the impossible.